Hey guys, what's going on? It's KP here, back with another episode of the podcast. Today, we got a special guest. He's a guitarist for a band that you guys know and love, Bodysnatcher. It's Kyle Carter. How you doing today, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, Kevin?
Hey.
How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. We got so much to cover, so we're gonna dive right into it. You recently joined Bodysnatcher not that long ago. You've been playing guitar for a while. How old were you when you picked up the guitar?
So when I first started playing guitar, I was only like 12. Probably got a guitar when I was like 11, but didn't really mess with it for a little bit. Just kind of had it sit in the corner for a little bit there. But yeah, I'd say I was about like 12. So
what bands influenced you to start playing? What bands did you hear and go, yes, I need to play guitar right now?
All right. I gotta say it. I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna. It's probably like Avenged Sevenfold, to be honest.
Okay. So what song or songs really piqued your interest then?
It was definitely like the whole backcountry era of that band. That's like,
okay.
I don't know. It's like crazy guitar stuff, and I was like, dang, like I don't know.
Dang, I got to get into that, man. Yeah. So you've been playing guitar since you were 12. How old are you now?
I'm 26.
26, nice. And you're in Bodysnatcher. You're touring all over the place. We'll talk about tours and Bodysnatcher here in a little bit. You were, before Bodysnatcher, you were in a band called Beacons. Tell me about your time with this band.
So Beacons was like kind of like my baby band. Like we all started that pretty much together. It was just like two guys at first, and then they brought in me and then I brought Taylor with me, the vocalist, and then kind of just went from there. It was like a lot of trial and error in that band. There was like not a whole lot that went like right for us at that time, but the music we were making was like really sick. I still really like the music we put out.
Yes, as do I. It's great music.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it just didn't things just didn't go as planned for that band. It was just like a learning experience for all of us, really.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You have 2 releases for Beacons?
There's actually 4, but we took the first one offline. So it was like the Complications EP. That one had like singing and stuff on it. So we kind of didn't want that to be associated with the band. But we had like an EP called Endless that came out in 2013, and then we did 2 full lengths after that.
Okay, and then the last full length you guys put out, it was just you and Taylor, right?
Yeah, the last full length, that was all like, I think our old guitar player maybe wrote like 1 or 2 riffs on that album, but other than that, it was all me and all Taylor.
And didn't you do most of the production or the recording or something like that?
Yeah, I actually tracked all of it myself, and then we just had it mixed and mastered afterwards.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember, but yeah. So that was Beacons. Right after Beacons, you joined a band, and then right beside you is the vocalist of that band, is Dealey Plaza. Big-time fan of that band. Tell me about your time with Dealey Plaza.
So I kind of joined Dealey right after the drummer, their drummer at the time left. It was Matt. He's in Oceano now. So it was kind of like in that transition period. We just played like a lot of like local shows. Really, we like right when I joined, we did like that Traders, like the last 5 days of that Traders tour. It was like the farewell Traders tour, like from forever ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did like 5 days there to like Texas and back, pretty much. And then after that, I didn't really do a whole lot with as far as like touring with them. But we wrote like an EP, and that EP like turned out really, really great, actually. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
and
that was.
Met me, and I met Brian.
Yeah, now you guys are best friends.
Yeah, and now we live together, and we cuddle and do lots of cool stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, that EP was great. I still jam it today. And that's kind of when you got introduced to Chris Whited as well, correct?
Yeah.
And now we're moving into the Bodysnatcher era with you. Chris Whited's in there as well as you, and there's like 15 Kyles in this band, including yourself.
Yeah, there's 3 of us.
So tell us about when and how you were asked to join Bodysnatcher.
So I was actually like hit up on Facebook by the old guitar player Frankie. So it was originally going to be me being like the second guitar player. So it was going to be me and Frankie as the guitar player.
Uh-huh.
And then I just didn't hear back from them for like a couple months. Like every once in a while, I'd hit them up and see if they still like needed me and all that stuff. And then eventually Frankie hit me up and said that he was unfortunately going to be like leaving the band, and that the offer was still up, but as like the full-time guitar player, so like writing and everything, not just like the second guitar player.
Right.
And I was like, hell yeah, that'd be like amazing. But yeah.
So what now are you doing with Bodysnatcher? You're touring, you're writing, you're doing what all are you doing?
Me personally, on the new stuff I've written I'd say like 90% of it, like 80, 85, 90% of it. Chris wrote a couple songs and we all like structured it together and everything.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I did like a lot of the writing, as well as the deluxe album that just came out. Those first 5 songs, those were all new. Those were all like by me and Chris as well. But yeah, with the new stuff, I'm doing a lot of the writing. I'm also doing like a lot of the lyrics, which is really cool. It's a first for me.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about your first Bodysnatcher show. Give me the full experience with that.
Okay, so my first Bodysnatcher show was the last Tampa date of Warped Tour, actually.
Wow.
So that was a crazy first show to have with the band. So it was obviously very different than most shows because it's like festival style.
Right.
So that alone was weird for me. So at that time, I really didn't even know the guys too well. But so I was just kind of like off on my own, not really talking to anyone, like doing my thing. So yeah, the show itself was really good though. Like it was very eye opening that that's where I wanted to be.
Right. Now, if you had to take a ballpark guess, how many people do you think you played in front of that day?
Oh, I have no idea. It was probably like a couple hundred. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. Definitely a couple hundred people. Yeah, it was,
I think I remember seeing videos surface and go around on Facebook and YouTube, and it did look pretty packed. I mean, again, it was Warped Tour, it was Tampa, so it's a pretty busy area in general. That's crazy. So tell me about evolving with the band since that first show, how you've come closer together with everyone, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we're all like very, very close now. We all spend so much time together in the van and all that. Like recently, we did 2 back-to-back tours, so we were like very tight knit. And like, to be honest, I've only been home for a little bit, and I already miss it. Like, I already miss hanging out with them every day, being in the van together. Like, I don't know. It's something that I don't know. I can't really explain it. I just miss being stuck in a tiny little van that smells really bad.
Right. Not a lot of people get to experience that, but when you do experience it, you do think about it and you do miss it. So I understand that completely. You talked about tours. You recently toured with Chelsea Grin. Got any stories about that?
So there's only like one real big story, like for me at least, that sticks out. Is it's a stupid story.
Lay it on me.
So the band, since there's 3 Kyles in the band, there's we all go by nicknames, generally like last names.
Yeah.
But for me, they came up with like a stupid last name because my name's Carter. They originally were calling me Cartwheel just to be like kind of like dicks. They're like, hey, Cartwheel. So anyways, when we started hanging out with like the Chelsea Grin dude, Pablo, the drummer, he like forgot the nickname and he accidentally called me Crowbar. He was like, hey, Crowbar. And then he was like, wait, that's way too hard of a nickname. You have to earn that one. Like, I'm not just going to call you that. So what we did was, as I was playing our set, okay, so Gabe from Enterprise Earth, Gabe from Enterprise Earth came up on the stage, reached behind me, and started playing the part on guitar while I'm standing there.
Uh-huh.
And Pablo from Chelsea Grin came up with like a beer and a shot and made me like chug it all with like no hands and everything. Like he nursed it to me pretty much. And then that's how he had me earn the name. So it was like kind of like a cool, funny thing. There's like a video of it, pictures and all that.
That is funny. I did not know that. I just knew somehow during that tour you went by Crowbar and then it kind of stuck. But now hearing the story, that's even better.
And it actually stuck too. From then on, everyone just started calling me Crowbar.
I mean, it's better than Cartwheel, right?
Oh yeah, there's tons more, but I don't want to share them.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. So now, what is going on right now for the future of Bodysnatcher?
Right now I'm finishing up recording guitars for the new album. Can't really say too much about the album at this point. Just we're not far enough along to start sharing stuff like that.
Right.
But it's sick.
Oh, okay.
And other than that, we have that Slaughter for Veil tour coming up with Prison and Orthodox. And other than that, I don't know if I can really say too much.
Okay, I'm going to try to pick a little bit. So it's definitely an album and not an EP?
Yeah, definitely an album.
Okay, and it's going to be produced and mixed and all that stuff by Chris Whited?
Yep.
And it's going to be on Stay Sick?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm going to ask you, so you don't have to worry about too much. Okay, any final thoughts, any closing statements you want to say maybe to fans or anything like that?
Keep coming to shows and beating people up.
Stay pissed.
Yeah, stay pissed.
All right, shout out to Brian for Dealey for hanging out with us for that too.
Yeah. What's up, Brian?
Yeah, so I'll be talking to Brian. Well, spoilers. I'll be talking to Brian eventually here soon. So thank you so much, Kyle. I'll be talking to you here in a little bit off air. That's Kyle Carter from Bodysnatcher. Make sure you guys check them out. They're on Stay Sick Recordings. They got tours coming up, and they have a new album in the works. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.